Good evening. We're in downtown Montreal. It's a beautiful night with the infamous chanteur de jazz, Jeri Brown. I've been hearing so much about Jeri. I've listened to a lot of her CDs, but I've never met her in person, so I'm really honored to be here to talk to you in person about your life in music and influences and things like that of that nature. And how long have you been singing, Jeri?
Well, that's a loaded question. Let's see. I've been singing probably to some degree since I was about 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Yeah,
serious.
I used to do a PBS radio show.
Mm-hmm. You know, when I listen to you sing, I hear people like Betty Carter and Carmen Lundy. How much of an influence of those singers? Well, I know, who were the singers that really influenced you?
Well, you know, it's funny when you mention Carmen Lundy because Curtis Lundy's been in at least 2 of my bands.
Is that right?
And the reason he was in my bands is because I was in love with his sister.
Okay.
Way back when she used to work at like 110th Street. I don't know if everybody knows her, and
Yeah.
she probably will be shocked to know that I'm saying these things.
Get out of here.
I
Really?
loved the heck out of her.
Wow, yeah.
And at the time, I knew Terrence Blanchard and
All the Young Lions.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I knew about record deals and things that happened and didn't happen,
Yeah.
and you know, and so, and of course Betty Carter. Lori, my Betty. We go back when I used to work at Keyboard Lounge in Detroit, and that I hadn't heard of Betty Carter when I first started tra-la-laing up there. But they said, you know, wow, you've got to listen to, you know,
Go listen to
and
Betty.
you know, and so Betcar Records albums, you know, I became acquainted with her material, and well, I don't know, it was like a relative. And then one day, she performed one night somewhere, and we met each other. And from that moment on, she was my sister, and here in Montreal, I brought her here. When I first started, got my teaching engagement, we had an opportunity to bring in artists.
Okay. And you brought Betty.
I brought Betty here. Here, in Canada and in North America, a lot of the singers have more of a pop backbone to their voice. So I've started, I can work with any lick that they can throw at me and help them to clean it up. A lot of the tonality and pitch today of singers is not strong. They rely on technology to clean that up.
A lot of studio magic.
That's right, but I'm one of those.
Yeah, you're one of naturals. You're
yeah,
natural.
so I'm helpful to work with singers who are working on projects. I try not to work with the beginners. Although it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
And so it's a different. I think technology has helped us and hurt us.
Oh, sure.
You know, we've lost our natural abilities.
Our natural ability. Hello. I totally agree with that. Now, I understand that you've just got finished working on a project with some heavies out of the States.
Yes.
And I'd like you to tell us about that project.
Well, there's the black abolitionist Sojourner Truth did her speech, I think in 1851, Ain't I a Woman? And that's how we think of her. A lot of great actors and poets have done that speech. So Avery Sharp, who's a wonderful bass player who's many years, I think over 20 years with, he worked with McCoy Tyner.
Oh, McCoy. Okay.
All those years,
That's right.
and he launches his own projects. This is a special project, and so there are some originals that Avery has. Even though we know him as a bass player, he's a wonderful composer.
Okay.
So he's put that together. Those exquisite musicians, you just have to listen to it because we recorded in New Jersey, and it was released May 1st, and we toured. We'll be at Litchfield Festival, I think August 11th. This
nice.
will be our first outing
Nice.
of the project.
Nice.
But I am enjoying more and more getting into that space and playing around with all of that music my way. You know,
Your way.
Yeah,
That's
it's
nice.
one of my favorite singers. You were asking me was a woman by the name of Angela Bofill.
Oh yeah, I know Angela. As a matter of fact, I knew her whole band back in New York. I mean,
Okay,
as a matter of fact, one of her musical directors was Onaje. You know Onaje Allen Gomes?
he's on the CD.
Yeah.
So thank you.
I
We
grew
got
up with
Onaje
Onaje.
out there. Onaje's on the Sojourner Truth CD.
Get out of here, Onaje.
Yes, yes.
What?
So now he won't beat me up.
Okay.
Okay.
You see, small world.
And so Onaje I brought him here. We've done the festival
Is that
here.
right?
Yeah.
Listen, I knew
and,
Onaje when he was 13. He was playing like that then. He was playing like that. Onaje was band at 13. I'm telling you.
Oh my goodness.
He was a killer player, man.
Yes, he is. Yeah. He's played here too. I brought him upstairs, so he's been all over Montreal.
Onaje is
Yep.
amazing
So they
player.
won't kill me completely.
Angela Bofill. Yeah, I worked with Phyllis Simon for a minute.
And Phyllis is one of my, and I knew Phyllis.
Yeah, Phyllis. I
And
did
she
Phyllis
was
for a
one of
while.
my favorites.
Yeah.
See, so I didn't end up singing in that genre of music, but those were my folks.
Yeah,
and
that was my,
you know.
the era I grew up in. You know, I was doing all of that stuff. Eric Gale, Phyllis, the whole nine, man. It was quite an experience.
I'd love to do, I think someone has done a recent tribute to probably some people to some of these iconic singers. I'd like to do a little bit more of that.
It's really been a pleasure to meet you
Thank
and to
you.
listen to you. And I'm going to hang out, check out the
Thank you
second set.
so much. Please enjoy.
Okay.
Enjoy. Thank you.
All right.